everyone, it's Shari Carroll here for Simon Says Stamp with a card that I created using the KaiserCraft Elegance collection. To start things off, I used the Simon Says Stamp Borders and Frames die cut, and I cut two pieces of paper together. So I used the slate, which is Simon Says Stamp, and also this nice foil paper, and it gave me a nice little foil frame around my tag. I'll go ahead and flip through this paper pad. It's really gorgeous and it's called Elegance, and it has a nice selection of papers, and there's some foily ones. There's also a nice combination of the silver and teal, and then you can do gold and teal. I'll be white embossing onto my little tag, so I've just used my Versamark ink, and I'm using the Bluebell stamp set from KaiserCraft also, and the one I'm using is Friends Are the Sunshine of Life, and it's a really nice message, and it'll fit really nicely onto my little tag here. I'm going to offset it a bit, and this gives me less pressure, so I don't have to worry about centering everything up. Plus I'll be adding an arrangement of flowers around it, so I just kind of want it offset just slightly. So I'm just going to press that down, and I'll go ahead and pop that off from the back. I also wanted to note that my little foil frame has stayed in place. I don't know how long it'll stay in place, but I'm going to add a little bit of glue on the back side so that all those pieces will stay together. The next thing I want to do is to use my white embossing powder, keep it in a tub, which is really easy for me with a plastic spoon. And I'm going to go ahead and inspect that, make sure that I have enough powder on there. I want to get just that edge of that F, and I'll go ahead and add more and then tap that off. And then I can use my heat tool to heat set the embossing powder. I have cut a couple sheets of the KaiserCraft paper, and I've used more of the gray tones and also that little foily paper, and I'm just going to add some adhesive to the back. I've cut my paper to where I'll have a little bit of a white border around from the top folding card, so I'll just go ahead and center that onto my card, and once I'm happy with my placement, I'll go ahead and press that down. I'll be adding some embellishments into the center, so my smaller piece can overlap onto my other gray piece, but I think I cut it just about right. So again, I'm going to line this up from the bottom and make sure I have it centered onto that card, and then once I'm happy with that, I'll go ahead and press that down. In the back of the KaiserCraft paper pad, there's these little cut borders, and so I've pulled one out, and I've also added a little strip of cardstock and added some foam squares to the back. Next, I'm going to start my arrangement, and I've put some foam squares on the back of my tag, and I'm going to be temporarily putting things down, so I'm going to pull off just a couple of those backings off the foam square. That way I can just kind of stick it in place and then start doing my arrangement. I'll be adding a few of the die cuts from the Elegance collectible pack, and this pack is just full of gorgeous product. There are tags and butterflies and messages and flowers, and just really makes card making easy because you can layer all the elements together onto a card. So I've chosen a few pieces, and I'll be stacking them up onto my card, and of course I'll be using some foam squares. So first I want to just kind of decide on the arrangement that I want, and I'll use a little bit of adhesive and just put it down and press those pieces down. This way I can decide if it's pleasing to the eye or not, and I know that I'm going to foam dot this one up, so I've gone ahead and put one square to where it's going to fit right into that little valley, and then I'll put a little bit more adhesive so it'll sit right on that border. So this will be my main piece, and then I'll kind of add things around that. So the next thing I want to do is to add my little flower. And once I'm happy with that arrangement, I'll go back and use some foam squares and pop everything up. Here's another look at my finished card. To add a final touch, I added these Sea Breeze Sparklet gemstones. They're really gorgeous, and the colors just matched perfectly. I hope you've enjoyed my card inspiration using KaiserCraft product, and thanks for watching.